you're here for in Indianapolis for your respective roles in Disney. But do you have a particularly other favorite role that you just happen to love personally? I know I asked a hard-hitting question to you.
I have to think about that.
Oh yeah, take your time. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, I'm partial to lots of parts. It's always the part that I'm playing at the moment. But I think I don't know. Do any of you know the mystery of Edwin Drood? Yes. I played Edwin Drood, the pants role, on Broadway and on the national tour. I created it. That was one of my favorites. And I love Louis Fontaine in Les Mis, even though it was exhausting.
All right, time has elapsed. What do you think?
Oh. It's me. I'm a sleeping pad. I don't know.
All right, tell me after.
If I think of something, I'll interrupt.
Absolutely. Please interrupt me. And thank you so much for your question. That was awesome.
Great
Give Belle another
question.
hand, everyone.
Great question.
What was your question?
Besides Belle and Jasmine, what are your favorite Disney princesses? Well, I like The Little Mermaid. I have so many favorites.
It's so hard.
Yeah, I know.
I love all of them for different reasons. You know?
I know. I mean, there's only 10 of us, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's 10. So it's easy to love them all.
Excellent. Thank you
As
so
a
much.
little girl, the ones we had were Cinderella and Snow White and Sleeping Beauty, and they were all fantastic in their own way.
Thank you so much for your question. And yes, over here. Yes, what's your name? Sky.
Well, I'm not a singer. I do just the acting, and Paige does the acting and the singing. So you sing.
How long have I been singing? Probably a lot younger than you are. How old are you? 9. That's about actually when I started singing, and I realized I had a voice. I started out just studying acting, and they were casting Peter Pan, the musical version, in my little children's theater I was in, and I just started singing, I gotta crawl, and I started belting. I was like, where are you at? I can do that. And I started singing around the living rooms at Broadway shows, and Judy Garland was my favorite. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think I recommend any of you who want to sing, practice with someone that's in your register, where your natural register is, but don't be afraid to try things and practice with singers that have great technique, because then it'll rub off on you.
Thank you so much, Sky. You have another follow-up? Yes.
She's in the Wizard of Oz.
She's in the Wizard of Oz.
That's so fun.
Awesome.
Give her a hand, folks. And yes, please ask your question. You and me both.
You're in college? You do.
I'm studying theater myself, and what is the most random moment that you have when you both have to do that?
Well, I was on stage having a kiss, and the fire alarms in the building went off. All of a sudden, this private moment on stage became like all the lights were turned on,
I was doing Edwin Drood on the national tour, and we were outdoors in St. Louis at the Community Opera. And I'm playing this guy, he's supposed to be very butch, Edwin Drood, this boy, and this big roach, like flying roach, was right across my face, and I went, oh! I want to be such a girl! Oh, that's so hard. I maintained it, and I just looked up stage, and I went, Michael started Phantom of the Opera forever and ever as Ralph. He's sitting over in the corner there. But the weirdest thing that we've been married for 25 years this year. He was saying Ralph Los Angeles, Michael Rocker for a long time in Los Angeles, and he was doing the love scene with Christine, and all of a sudden he felt the audience just like went away. He said, "What's wrong?" They were with us. Realized they were having an earthquake. So, remember that, honey? That was so strange. I mean, things like that do happen. Life happens while you're performing. It's crazy.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
And we have yes. What would your question be?
Oh, well, Robin and I met when we were doing the movie, and we knew each other for 20 years. We got to see each other very often, or not very often, but throughout those years. And I saw Robin do a play in New York a few years ago. It was the same year that we had the honor of being made Disney legends, and Robin congratulated me on becoming a Disney legend. He'd already become one. So yes, it was really wonderful to know him.
Thank you so much for your question. And I guess that's a key follow-up is what is when you become a Disney legend, what does that entirely mean?
Well, lifetime access to Disneyland and Disney World.
Yes. You get a full card. Anytime. Love that. And bring friends.
That's 3. So.
Okay, we have.
I just think just the fact that we're in such great company. I mean, my goodness, between the animators and directors and artists, and as well as the wonderful actors, it's just amazing and humbling company to be in.
Awesome. And yes, please ask your question.
First off, Mark, thank you for your first time. We're very excited to have you here.
Absolutely.
And your preparedness for working on these characters that really helped shape my life. I grew up like many of us here on your characters, and I think there's my kids will as well. My question is kind of going along with the direction of Disney now. Do you guys watch Once Upon a Time, and what are your thoughts?
Such a strange but perfect question. Do you want to go first? Me either. And I'll tell you what.
Oh my God, scandal!
It is a scandal. It is scandal.
So.
All right.
I'll put it on my list.
Actually, I decided this week, I left my show I've been doing for 9 years in Las Vegas and finally decided I was doing The Soap Star in Menopause the Musical for 9 years. And in the last year, I just moved to another hotel, and I just thought, you know what? I had like a pull muscle in my neck for a year, and we do this choreography like I'm 16, the head climbing around like this. Here's these old women doing this. I was like, nuts. So anyway, I've decided to leave the show, and now I have time to actually watch things like Once Upon a Time. So I'm going to start from the very first year and work my way through. I have met the girl that plays Belle and the one that plays Snow White at different events, and they're so adorable. I can't wait to see it. Everyone's like, you're nuts, you haven't seen this. I haven't had time. I just haven't had time.
Please do.
I will. As after my NBA basketball.
All right, thank you so much. And yes, we have about 10 more minutes, but we are going to make the most of that because time flies when we are having fun. So please ask your question.
Actually, I don't know how many people know this. I think it's in one of the books, Michael, isn't it? When they cut the wolf scene, I got so upset at the wolf scene because initially, Beast was much more violent with the wolf, and it was like to the point you'd hate the Beast for the way he was killing the wolf. So it'll just go that far. And I raised a stink, and I said, this is not good. Kids are they're going to turn against this movie. You know, the wolves have to be the bad guys, but you can't have the Beast like breaking their necks and doing stuff like that. So I was really upset for like a week on that, and they came back and they said, you're absolutely right. You have the same opinion that other people would have, and that scene was cut. So thank goodness I didn't have to react to that scene. And it turned out, once they actually finished the wolf scene, that's the only scene that I recorded after it was animated. And they said, okay, we're going to put you in the theater, and you just react as you see it. So it turned out to be the perfect wolf scene. But it was really